8:36, everybody, and former Marine Daniel Penny has been found not guilty of criminally negligent homicide in the death of Jordan Neely. This comes after the more serious charge of manslaughter was dropped Friday because the jury could not reach a decision.
Our next guest says the level of accountability in this case is difficult to determine, but no accountability is unacceptable. Public advocate Jumaane Williams, thank you so much for being here. We want you to explain what you meant by that statement.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. And I think folks sometimes have problems holding, different thoughts at the same time. I think it is okay to understand that perhaps Daniel Penny didn't intend to kill Jordan Neely, but he did. He choked him to death, and there should be accountability for that. And the fact that there wasn't should worry everybody in this city. As I mentioned, it's okay to say, trying to figure out what the actual charge should be, and the top charges dropped, and many of us thought, well, at least there'll be some accountability with criminal negligent homicide. The fact that there was nothing really just devalues the life of someone who actually had a lot of value, and we just didn't honor that today. And to see people celebrating that verdict is disturbing.
Yeah, and you went on to say that the verdict sets a dangerous precedent, right, in terms of violence against marginalized people. So can you explain that comment and also just take it one step further, right? Because there were some comments yesterday that said because there was no accountability, what you're talking about, does that mean that other New Yorkers may feel that they can do similar things if they feel that they are in the presence of danger?
I heard a lot of folks saying what effect it would have if he was found guilty. Would people step up to help if needed? There wasn't a lot of conversation about the other side of that, which is where we're in now. If people can just say, I felt in danger, I seemed in danger, and that's why I killed this person, what kind of city are we going to have? And to hear the mayor say something like Daniel Penny did what the city should have done is also equally disturbing. We just cannot go around killing people because we said we felt afraid. And I can't speak for those folks who were on that subway and what they were feeling. I do know stepping in to assist can't just be you're killing people. And it's always the folks who are most marginalized. Jordan Neely came on that subway and said, I'm hungry. That's how he started off with. So there was so many failures before we got to that. And unfortunately, we failed him even in that.
You mentioned the mayor right there, but he did walk back his comments, right? He said that Jordan Neely should not have had to die. Is that a reversal, in your opinion, of what he had to say in the past?
I'm glad he had a little bit more responsible tone when he spoke yesterday, but it's very damaging every time he says these words, and sometimes, not all the time, sometimes then tries to peel it back just a little bit. Yeah. We need real leadership right now. We need leadership that's going to be responsible and a calming, unifying force, not one that's going to sow divisions for people who are already afraid, not one that's going to say it's okay to kill somebody with no accountability at all.
All right. We want to switch gears now to a lawsuit against Mayor Adams over the implementation of the city's ban on solitary confinement. Can you tell us what that's all about and why what he did sets a dangerous precedent?
What's interesting is that the mayor himself has helped further the crisis in Rikers Island, and then he uses his own crisis to make an executive order not to follow the law. We have seen more than one occasion where the mayor doesn't like laws, so he just doesn't follow it. And that's just not acceptable. The city council passed a law, and it's not just simply about the word solitary. What we have said is that we should not use isolation as a way to change behavior. There is enough study and people understand that isolating the mind actually makes things worse. And so it allows for separation when needed so people are not harmed, but isolation is what we try to change. People are in danger on Rikers Island right now without this law being followed. People who work there, people who are detained there, often from the same communities. And we can't allow this abuse of an executive order for the administration not to follow the law. It's not that they tried and it didn't work. They didn't even try to follow the law that was in place.
But the mayor says this is for the safety of jail staff. He's citing safety concerns. What's your reaction to that?
I wish he would join us in really trying to keep people on both sides of those bars safe. I would ask you, does Rikers Island seem safe to you when you're looking at the news, when you see corrections officers being harmed, when you see detainees being killed? This is because we keep trying the same thing over and over. This law is put in place to try to make Rikers an actual safer place than it is right now. And I really wish the mayor would join us. I really wish we can have a conversation about how we can try to implement this, not an ignoring of the law.
You know, I want to end on a question I've asked you in the past, but I want to ask you again here, because it seems that some people's minds are shifting, Richie Torres being one of them who says he may run for higher office. If you're not happy with the way things are going, and you've said we need new leadership, right, and you're not happy with the status quo, would you run for either mayor or governor again? Are you looking at a higher office after this next election?
Well, I have no plans for anything else except running for re-election right now. That's what our campaign is gearing up to do. I will say I'm very clear that this is not the mayor that we need for this city at this moment.
But you don't want to be mayor?
That's unfortunate. And as of right now, I'm not running for mayor and don't have plans to.
Okay. Public Advocate Jumaane Williams, I appreciate your time, as always, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you.